Hi, my name is Heather Bittner Fagan. I am a family physician and researcher at Christiana Care. I also lead the Community Engagement and Outreach Core, and I'm joined by one of my colleagues from the Community Engagement and Outreach Core at University of Delaware, Allison Carpin. So we are both eager to tell you about what we do and eager to hear any questions or comments you might have as we go through the talk. So first of all, you may or may not have even heard the term of community engaged research. And what I hope you leave this talk with is a knowledge that this research is really a continuum of possibilities. And the idea is the community is always at some level, really the partner in the research that we do. Community engaged research is a value system. It gives priority to the voice of the community and to the patient. And I often find, myself needing to tell people community engaged research is not really a specific methodology. It is a value system. So it's not like qualitative research is by necessity community engaged. And nor is it that bench research, bench research has lots of possibilities for community engagement. So alluding to that, there really is a continuum of how we, the researchers, might engage the community in what we do, from more or less intensive models to very intensive models. So, we can start by taking sort of the baby steps, discrete steps, where the researcher might consult a community about how to design a study. And that can progress, all the way to really more intensive involvement, such as, doing focus groups with communities in advance so that you understand what research questions really matter to them. Science, we all believe, is meant to be translated. So the idea would be that you take a discovery, you move it into humans, patients, practice, and eventually into the greater population or community. And in an ideal world, those lessons learned in the community, why things did work, were able to be implemented, or didn't work, then feed back, and we really create a cycle. So one of the challenges, though, is that it can take a really long time to go from discovery to impact in the communities and populations that we care about. As long as 17 years, sometimes from when you look at the original, NIH or other type of funding until we see impact at a larger level. And that's, if you're lucky enough to kind of have the discoveries that are moving down that path. So the idea here is that community engagement can really be one of the key catalysts to hopefully moving this reaction along a little faster. So the community engagement core, community engagement and outreach core for ACCEL has the following specific aims. Our goal is to give voice and priority to the needs of our communities and patients, to integrate community engagement across all of what we do in ACCEL, and to really create and nurture teams that can incorporate the values of community engaged research. So this is one of the first things that we did as a community engagement and core is to reach out to the community and to form a community advisory council. You can see I won't read you the slide, but you can see maybe there's a familiar face in there. Maybe there's an organization that makes you think, they might be able to help me think about my research. And then these are the faces of our community engagement and outreach team. There is someone at every institution We're missing one picture, Carissa Baker-Smith from Nemours, so I would just point that out. I think we're working on getting her picture up here too. She's one of our newer members. But hopefully, you know, regardless of what institution you're at, you're looking at this slide and you're noticing there's someone from our team at every institution. And there, again, are the names, the institutions for your reference. Again, I won't read it, and I'm not going to go over all of the activities that we do, but those are listed here as well in our org chart. So the mission of community engagement and outreach is to act as a catalyst between Delaware's clinical and translational health researchers and the communities that are impacted by their work, and to be a resource to the researchers as they work to include community voice in their research. We recognize that sometimes it's not easy to take that first step, and we're here to help you. So what's our vision? Why are we doing the work that we do? Well, we hope to end up with active participation of diverse communities that comprise Delaware in all the activities of ACCEL. We want to have a research workforce that understands why it's so centrally important to engage communities and that is sort of ready, willing, and able to engage these communities as experts and partners in their work. We want ACCEL members to conduct research that is directly linked to improved health and decreased health inequities for Delawareans, building on the strengths of our researcher and addressing community-identified health needs. So this all stems from some important values: collaboration, equity, humility, transparency, and impact. You will often hear from us and from people nationally who do this kind of work, nothing about us without us. The idea that our communities need to be more than sort of like just the research subjects. We really need to hear their voice and do research that is responsive. Everyone is an expert in something, and everyone is a learner. And this is just another picture of the translational spectrum with definitions, which I will not read to you. Our definition of community is a group of people with diverse characteristics who are linked by social or professional ties or share common perspectives, interests, or health concerns. And these people would have already or be willing to be engaged in some sort of joint action in either geographic locations or other settings and groups. So some example of health concerns can include environmental, social, emotional, mental, or physical factors. Settings or groups can include not only geographic communities, but also online or clinical communities. So for instance, people who are united by a diagnosis that maybe do, some online work together. Defining community engaged research, and we borrowed our definition from the people referenced there, but added some of our specific, specific flavor to it. Community engaged research actively incorporates and responds to the voice and needs of the community, particularly under-resourced communities. Community engaged research recognizes community voice as a driving force for research, and it incorporates that voice in its approach to understanding the problem, conducting the activities, interpreting results, and or disseminating findings in a context of shared power and respect, such that both the community and the researcher derive mutual benefit from the work. Community-engaged research requires academic members to become partners with the community and community members to become part of the research team, thereby creating a unique working and learning environment before, during, and after the research. And that is the end of my talk. So I thank you very much for your attention. And I'm going to hand it back over to Rob and Aaron. And I'm happy to hear feedback or take questions.